The scene opens within the haze of a dream. Suho, once again a young boy, sits in his room sketching the figures of shadow warriors. He glances up to see the imposing, insectoid figure of Beru holding the sketchbook. Suho is startled to see his drawing in the creature's hands, but the fearsome shadow soldier is overcome with emotion. Beru sheds tears, deeply touched that his young master has created such a beautiful portrait of him. Consciousness slowly returns to Suho. He blinks, disoriented by the transition from the dream to the stark reality of a sterile room. Upon fully waking, he realizes he is lying in a hospital bed, wrapped tightly in a blanket. The first word to escape his lips is aunt, a statement that visibly puzzles the doctor standing beside him. Moments later, Suho begins calling out for his uncle. When the older man arrives, he is frantic, expressing deep concern about Suho's well-being and lamenting the harsh dangers of the world. The uncle immediately offers to hire bodyguards for Suho's protection. However, Suho manages to convey that he is physically alright and declines the need for extra security. By the time Suho is fully alert, 2 days have passed since he fainted during the monster attack. He turns his attention to the television, where the government is addressing the catastrophe at the University of Arts. The incident caused significant injuries and has sparked widespread debate across the nation. The central point of discussion is the discovery of the Mistburn monster, a terrifying creature capable of transforming hunters into monsters and attacking them. The news report highlights a critical failure. Despite the incident taking place in the heart of the city, the Hunter Association was slow to respond. By the time the hunters arrived at the scene, they were met with chaos and destruction, yet all the monsters had been mysteriously eliminated. Witnesses interviewed claim that the people who had been transformed into monsters seemingly appeared out of nowhere before vanishing or being destroyed. As Sung Suho observes these events, he struggles to grasp that this is reality and not a lingering dream. He understands the fundamental rule of this world: the awakened grow stronger by leveling up. A check of his status reveals he is currently at level 5. He accepts that he has achieved a small rank, a fact proven by his survival in a battle against a hunter. While he remains confused about how he managed to stay alive, a voice suddenly cuts through the silence, explaining that Beru had eliminated the parasites causing trouble. Suho glances down at the floor and notices a massive shadow staring back at him with large, glowing eyes. The shadow rises and takes form. Beru expresses his joy at reuniting after so many years, acknowledging Suho's growth into a remarkable young lord. Overwhelmed with emotion, Suho begins to piece together fragmented memories. He realizes the shadow is connected to his childhood. These are the ants, the creatures he cherished deeply during his early years. The sudden recollection puzzles him, but Beru explains that the young ruler defied the boundaries of measurement to reach him. Suho struggles to comprehend why he grew up among these dark creatures, finding himself consumed with endless inquiries. Beru interrupts the confusion with a grim status update. Crossing dimensions demanded a significant amount of mana, and when Beru emerged, his power was diminished. The system card indicates his status as merely that of a soldier. This demotion causes Beru to break out in a rage, as he cannot accept being reduced from a marshal to a common foot soldier. Suho springs to his feet, eager to express that he feels much better and attributes his recovery to his own efforts. Beru counters this, declaring that regardless of perspective, Suho is indeed a remarkable healer. The ant reminds him that the original mission was to break the Shadow Seal, a task Suho seemingly accomplished on his own. Beru acknowledges Suho as the young ruler, but Suho remains puzzled about the connection between the seal and their current situation. Beru clarifies the situation: everything Suho experienced previously, his normal life, his lack of power, was a fabrication. The forbidding Shadow Lord, Sung Jin-Woo, had sealed Suho's powers and memories to ensure he could live a normal life. This revelation leaves Suho struggling with the implications of his past and his newfound strength. Suho listens in disbelief as Beru explains that his father is in space, defending their world against powerful beings. Beru clarifies that Sung Jin-Woo did not simply leave home. He traveled into the cosmos to fight the Itarim, outer gods intent on conquering their world by dispatching apostles to launch attacks. Although Sung Suho does not fully comprehend the concept of this cosmic war, he is amazed by the bravery and sacrifice his father is making to protect their world from threats hidden in the stars. To reach this point, Jin-Woo has vanquished numerous enemies, and the opening of the gates on Earth is a direct consequence of this ongoing conflict. Suho inquires about his mother, Shahayan, noting that she vanished the day he was last with his father, leading him to believe they were together. Upon hearing this, Beru becomes furious. He suspects without a doubt that her disappearance is the work of the apostles. Suho asks if the Itarim are to blame for preventing his parents from returning. Beru realizes that the young lord is eager to reunite with them. Suho confirms this, stating that the only solution is to become stronger to save his mother and reunite with his father. Beru explains that due to the Dark Lord's war, Sung Jin-Woo cannot return to Earth. Therefore, it is imperative for the young lord to grow stronger to locate and rescue Heian himself. They must utilize a specific key to elevate his level. At that instant, a notification window emerges, indicating a new quest. As the son of a great figure, all of Suho's inherent abilities are currently sealed. To manage this immense power, he must demonstrate his worthiness by entering the Dark Dungeon and showcasing his skills. This key serves as the gateway to the Dark Dungeon, enabling his journey into its depths. Beru informs the young master that he needs to place the key into his shadow. Suho complies, prompting the shadow gates to materialize before him. Within these gates, a portal awaits, one that he needs to traverse without delay. Beru urges him to enter and reclaim the powers that rightfully belong to him. Suho struggles to comprehend the reality of a cosmic battle involving gods and a Lord of Shadows. It all seems doubtful and overwhelming. However, his primary focus shifts to collecting strength in order to confront his parents, realizing that he can only be effective once he has grown stronger. Determined to improve himself, he resolves to level up relentlessly. Meanwhile, a sense of excitement wells up. It is reminiscent of the moment in the past when the Shadow Lord instructed Beru to descend and shatter Suho's seal. In that memory, Beru discussed the seal of the Shadow Lord, to which Jin-Woo responded that if the Itarim invaded Earth, Beru must restore his son's memory and allow him to safeguard the land. Otherwise, Beru was to act based on the circumstances on Earth. Beru ultimately understands that if this responsibility falls to him, he will remain by the young lord's side to assist him in leveling up. At that moment, Suho steps through the portal, gradually emerging on the other side. Beru explains that this is the land of the dead, a place where no living being would dare enter without the master's consent. He describes it as a dark dungeon filled with various creatures. Suho quickly recognizes that it resembles a dungeon of shadows, appearing more like a ruined city than a traditional dungeon.